I'm very excited to show you the bedroom. It has taken me around 6 months to do everything because I actually did all the bones, all the walls, the ceilings, everything behind the room I had to redo. So finally, I'm so excited. It turned out so pretty, you guys. When I first thought about redoing my room, I seen all white in my head, and that's what I wanted. I wanted like a white and wood look, and kind of lost some inspiration along the way, probably because I came from the bathroom, the girls' room, and then into my room, and it's just a lot of work. Like, I retextured the entire walls and ceiling, hung shiplap, made beams, painted the floor, painted all my furniture. So just a lot of work in the process. So as I lost inspiration, just probably more from tiredness and just work, my sister Carrie would just tell me, no, stick with the white, because I would be like, I don't know if I should just go with all white. You know, I'd go back and forth, even though I knew that's what I wanted in the get-go. So if you have a space or a room you're wanting to decorate, and you have this first like instinct, like this is what I want to do, stick with that, because you'll try different things, or maybe like think I'll try this color or like this design, but I find I always go back to my original heart's desire in a room. So if you're doing a space or a room or a hutch, whatever you're doing, whatever little space or big space you're doing, go with your first instinct. So Carrie would encourage me to stick with white. My sister-in-law, Darren, would encourage me to stick with white. And I'd call Carrie, poor thing, she'd just be like, she'd know what to talk about my room. I'd be like, I don't know, Carrie. But I just kept telling myself, get the bones and the structure of the room done, like hang the beams, get the brick up, get the shiplap up, get the furniture painted. And then if you don't like the all white, then I might incorporate. I was thinking of doing a sage green over here on the shiplap wall, but I'm glad I stuck with white. So the very first thing I did was strip the entire room. I sold my old bedroom furniture, and I hand troweled the walls for the very first time. I used a joint compound, and I had never did it before in my life. And I actually started right here behind me on the mirror, right here on this patch, because I thought, well, if I don't like it, I knew a mirror was going there, so I can just kind of hide it. And started hand troweling it and did the ceiling and the walls that are all exposed. And it was a lot of work. It took me a full day to do the ceiling. And so I was really tired after that. But you guys, when I was doing it, I was thinking, okay, I'm not going to do the rest of my house because it's too much work. But now that the room is done, it is worth the effort and worth the work to hand trowel your walls. It literally settled the room. It just reminds me of an English cottage in here, and just really made the whole room just look old. And then I went to the beams. I actually made the beams from pine and distressed them, and we hung them. I have a whole video on that in my video description, and they're easy to make. And the second time around really took me very, very, very quickly. I used a weathered oak and a early American kind of mixed for these beams. I wanted a really light wood tone, and I wanted it to match baskets in my room, and it turned out beautiful. Titus actually hung those for me, and I hung the trim in between the beams. So I am learning to use tools. We hung shiplap vertical, which at first I did not like. I really like horizontal. So when I hung it vertical, I was like, oh, I don't like this. And it was throwing me off. But then now you guys have to imagine you have this shiplap on the wall that's vertical and nothing else is done, right? So it's just a really raw exposed room. But we hung it shiplap, and I knew once it was hung, it wasn't coming down. I love it now. And we painted it a Swiss coffee. We painted the ceilings Swiss coffee, and the walls are alabaster, which I think is a perfect contrast. The alabaster is a little bit warmer than Swiss coffee, And it is a beautiful contrast, and all my trim is Swiss coffee as well. So ceilings, trim, and doors are Swiss coffee, and the walls are alabaster. And then I painted the floor white, as you know, and that's alabaster as well for the color. So I did the brick wall with my sister's help, and that was really easy. I'll have everything linked in the description below, and really, really easy. And I feel like that's the main focal point of the room. And when you have focal points, you really want to keep those elements the focal point. You know, you don't want like 4 different like areas that just capture your attention. And I feel like the brick wall really just pops out on you. And Tara helped me with that, and I love it. We used a really heavy grout look. In fact, I wished I would have did a little bit more heavier, and I think it just absolutely gorgeous. You can see a peek behind me. And so now that you see all the bones of the room, all the structure, all the texture, now I'm going to take you along and show you the decoration. And pretty much, I would say, I know for sure all my furniture, all my baskets, everything is thrifted, and I painted or stained myself. And then my mirrors, I'll go through along and show you what is new, but most of it is all thrifted. So let's start in the entryway. I thought a picture of Titus and I would be just so perfect. And I found this little tiny, like English looking picture for 50 cents. And I put that underneath there because I feel like when you walk in the room, it kind of just sets the whole tone for the room. And then on the left-hand side, I thrifted these 3 straw hats, which I haven't showed you guys. And I paid $3 for the 2 bottom hats, and then the top hat I paid $1.50. And I felt like when you walked in my room, it was a kind of a flat wall, right? So I wanted something that brought it out, but not too much. And when I bought these straw hats, I hadn't decorated that spot yet. And I was like, perfect. I'm just going to hang them in a straight line, and I think it's going to just be beautiful right when you walk in our room. So that's what I did there. And then my dresser, which is behind me, I hung a Josephine mirror that I bought from Anthropologie. I got it on sale, and I loved the way that it went over the dresser. I did have another mirror that went vertical, but this was more horizontal, which I feel like it fit the dresser better. And then I just layered the dresser with another mirror, and then just applied some old books that I had tore the covers off and painted them. And these little artichoke little corbels, I guess you would say, I'm using them as bookends. I actually bought from my sister-in-law from Facebook Marketplace, and I painted them, and I really feel like they go very well with this Anthropologie look on my dresser. And then I just added some Studio McGee plants from Target on the sides. My sister Carrie doesn't really like the plants in here. We have a lot of the same taste, but then sometimes we differ, but she thinks it looks beautiful. It's just something she wouldn't do. And I really value my sister Carrie's opinion very highly because she has such exquisite taste, and she really knows her stuff. And so I did differ there, but I put these little Studio McGee plants on the dresser, and then I added just some more books and little wooden shoes that I thrifted for really cheap and placed them on top. And I feel like it's just a simple look on the dresser. I bought the dresser for $90 at my local Habitat. It had a mirror that was with it, but I took that off, chalk painted it white, distressed it, and then I added some rub and buff to the handles. Turned out beautiful. I'm telling you guys, you cannot beat vintage furniture. The drawers pull perfectly, solid as a rock, and it was only $90. I have mirrors in my room that came with the house, and I thought about taking them out, but I feel like it has an Anthropologie flair as well. And so my room is very small for a master bedroom, I feel like, and it really opens up the entire room. So I'm keeping the closets as of now. So moving to my bed, I thrifted my headboard for $10 and added a drop cloth inside for the fabric. and then hung a Anthropologie, I think it's the wooded manor mirror. I'll have everything linked in the description below if you would like to purchase it. I actually got the idea from my sister-in-law, Darian. She hung it above her bed and I just thought it was so pretty. So like simple, you guys. And then my thrifted headboard that I painted. And then all my bedding is from Anthropologie and Target. My 3 main pillows are part of the bed set that I got from Anthropologie. And then the second layer of pillows, which is my absolute favorite. I think it's beautiful. And I was very lucky to order them because when I ordered that pillow, the last pillow, because I only have 2 of them, they were out of stock. They're gorgeous. They had it in a white, this cream color and a gray color, and I wished they would come back in stock. They're gorgeous. And then the 2 front pillows with the big fat pom-poms, those are Anthropologie as well. And they are just heavy and beautiful. And then I wanted a touch of blue without being too blue. And I bought a little lumbar pillow from Target, which I believe is Studio Mickey as well. And just set that there for some texture. And then I threw a Target crocheted look cream throw at the end of my bed. And it's simple. And it's absolutely beautiful. I used a drop cloth curtain. I used a drop cloth for a bed skirt. My bed tables I bought at a yard sale for $50 for both, and they are Pulaski, I believe. And once again, sturdy as a rock. And I just took a sander to them and lightly sanded them down and got the orange stain off. Just lightly sanded them down, and then I took a rag and just added a little bit of weathered oak to it and would wipe it off immediately. They turned out beautiful. I wanted them to match my beams, and they did. They match perfect. And I just bought these little statue bust heads. I think I said that right. These little statue heads from Anthropologie, and I put candles inside. And then my lamps are Studio McGee as well. And I did not know that at the time until I went and researched them, and I was like, oh, those are Studio McGee. I absolutely love them. They're so pretty. They have a modern flair as well as a cottagey flair too. And I got this little cute vignette and just added some old paint brushes, wallpaper brushes, some yarn. I want touches of blue in my room, and behind the scenes in my decor, everything's white and wood, but then just touches of blue here and there, which I think is perfect. So my nightstands, as you see, are just very simple with my lamps, my diffuser, my oils that I diffuse daily and nightly, some cute little books underneath and baskets, and I think it just turned out lovely. I thrifted this trunk and this basket for the foot of my bed, and when I got those, I was so excited, you guys. I paid $25 for the trunk and $6 for the big basket. And it's setting on top of the denim fog rug. And I'll have that linked below. And it has a really vintage look, but it is so soft. It's almost oddly soft. Like, it's weird, but beautiful. Like, I just love it. It pulled the whole room together. I was struggling until I found this rug. And once I put this rug in here, it pulled the entire room together with just touches of blue, little bit of green to bring in the plants behind me. And it's perfect. And I am so happy. And then I thrifted this little white hutch that had chicken wire. I tore the chicken wire out. It's very cottagey to me. I painted it white. And then just added some thrifted linens and blankets to the bottom. Some old books, some old spectacles, and some hats and candlesticks and blue books and little statue bust. And on top, I'm going to show you this expensive lamp Titus bought me for my our 15th wedding anniversary. I call it the hand lamp, but it's from Anthropologie, and I'll have that linked below as well. And when I seen it, I was like, this lamp is so pretty. My sister Carrie, she was like, I wouldn't give you $25 for it. But it's just so hard. She's not meaning it meanly. That's our relationship, and that's what she feels about it. But I loved it, and it just sets the tone. It's beautiful lit. And then I thrifted this cloche. Did I say it right, you guys? From my sister-in-law Trend for $10, and I put some blue vintage thread inside for the touches of blue. And this statue bust is from Ballard & Design, and I think she's absolutely beautiful. The curtain rod you see above is from Ballard Design, and so are the finials. And the finials are the size of a very, kind of like a large lemon. You know, sometimes lemons can be quite large. And it's heavy. They are really heavy. And I feel like the marble pulls in touches of marble I have throughout the room and all the white statue busts that I have. And I think this whole window treatment was $160, somewhere in between there, and then the curtains are just drop cloth. I thrifted these 2 baskets to the side, and I hung them on the wall and just added some touches of eucalyptus and white flowers simply inside, and I paid $1 for each basket. So I got a really great price for them, and they, to me, when you walk into my bedroom, that was the wall, it's such a flat wall coming in and the flat wall facing you. These baskets pull the entire wall out along with the brick. I also thrifted this little white magazine rack for $8, and I painted it, chipped it up, and just threw some magazines inside, and I feel like it is the finishing touch for the room. And I hope you guys enjoyed this bedroom makeover. I was very excited to show you and share pictures with you, because when you work on something for 6 months, you know, it's like finally it's all coming together, and it came together, and it's just everything I seen in my head and everything I wanted. And I am just so thankful. I feel like the Lord helps me as well as my sister, Carrie, who really just encouraged me to stick with whites and my first instincts in my room. So I hope you enjoyed this bedroom makeover with me, and I will see you guys on the next video.